When it comes to the shooting fundamentals in regards to your trigger pull and your grip, which go hand in hand, basically when you grip a weapon like this, your hand has to be up tight on the back strap. And what generally happens, since this is a stock weapon, is they don't build them for the individual, they build them for the masses. And when you get something like that, anybody with a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller hand is going to have a lot of trouble indexing their finger properly on the trigger. So when you get your hand up onto the pistol grip and get a good firm grip on it, when you index your finger, if you're trying to catch the pad in the right spot on your finger to get a straight rearward trigger pull, it's oftentimes difficult if this is not set for your hand. Basically for my hand, it's a little bit oversized and compared to the average, so I have to actually create an arcing motion when I pull my trigger. Basically what you're looking for when your trigger breaks, you have to have a straight rearward pull. This problem as far as the grip and the index is in CQB shooting, when you put it in the pocket of your collarbone and shoot from the collarbone, and also from the shoulder when you're doing long distance shooting. So either way, my arcing motion that is generally caused with my trigger pull is going to make the round go to one side. So what I'm looking for is an adjustable type of system so that I can get a straight rearward trigger pull when the shot actually breaks. Without something like that, it has to be muscle memory as far as where I index it every time, and in a combat situation or something like that where I'm trying to index quickly, it's oftentimes hard to get that. Any little variation in my muzzle at the time of the break is going to have a huge impact downrange as far as where your print's going to be on paper. When talking about trigger pull with your actual indexing of your finger, there's two different styles that people use, and a lot of times they'll try to do this in a CQB environment, but it's almost impossible because it's hard to make the muscle memory. But some shooters will try to relax their finger and actually have the knuckle bend at this point in the inward direction, and that generally can create a straight rearward trigger pull. However, trying to do that in a rapid fire or a CQB environment, next to impossible unless you train on it pretty much every day. So if you can't do that, obviously the next option is to have a traditional arcing motion with your finger, and as long as that trigger is indexed in the right spot, it will be consistent. However, it does create an arcing motion, and that's going to pull your rounds. So if you had the ability to move this pistol grip forward or backward to adjust for your particular hand size, you can minimize that arcing motion. And again, we're talking about the breaking of the trigger as far as when it breaks, and you have a complete rearward trigger pull at that point. That's what you're looking for. The way I was trained in the sniper program is 2/1000 of an inch movement at the muzzle, and a 308 is going to translate into a 1 inch difference on print on paper at 100 yards. So you can see by having an arcing motion on your trigger finger, when that shot breaks, if you get 2/1000 of an inch, that's going to have a pretty big impact downrange. So with this adjustable pistol grip, what you can do is minimize that arcing motion or completely eliminate it. And another benefit to that is whenever you index your hand, no matter how you grab it, how quickly you try to acquire it, it's going to go right to the natural point. And once your position on the trigger is in the natural point, it's going to be extremely consistent as far as when that trigger breaks. Straight rearward pull. As far as indexing the trigger, when you have this set to where you want it, there is no chance of overextending your trigger through the trigger well, or also not getting it in there completely where you want it, and it's going to naturally put right in the center of your pad on your trigger finger.